Hi, I'm Terry Pasquarelli, MVP Realty.
I'm Rich Pasquarelli with MVP Realty.
Welcome back to the channel. And you know what? There's a reason we're standing right here in front of these slot machines to kick off today's real estate video. And I don't know, is it obvious or?
We're going to tell you at the end of the video.
So stay tuned. And if you find this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. We really appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you'll be in the know every time we post a new episode to the channel. But we've got to explain why we're here in the casino.
Right.
Let's talk about it. Well, here we are, another of our coffee series, coffee and tea that is.
Right.
And we do like to get out and make sure that we're enjoying a coffee or tea around town, but we took it a little further today, didn't we?
A new place that we went to, Cafe Albaccio.
Albaccio, and that's not in Naples, and that's not in Bonita Springs.
No, it's not in Florida.
Well, it started in Florida.
Right.
We started out in Florida. It is on a cruise ship. So welcome to the next in our coffee and tea series. As we get around town, one of the places we got around to was driving over to one of the ports in South Florida, hopped on a celebrity cruise ship, and one of their featured venues is the very delicious Cafe Albaccio.
Right.
And they have all kinds of specialty coffees and teas.
Oh,
so
they
if you're
sure do.
ever tired of what's available in Naples, these are not a bad choice at all.
That's one of the really nice things about living in Florida is that we have, 5 different ports, cruise ports to be able to drive to and hop on a very quick couple-day cruise and
or a
enjoy.
long cruise.
Or you can go for the longer ones, but if you just want to get away for a couple days and that's all you have to work with, then you can do that.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to worry about getting flights and doing all that other kind of stuff.
Right. So that is definitely something that people tell us is part of the enjoyment of that kind of Southwest Florida lifestyle that they find once they get themselves settled. And once everybody's in place, that's great. But on the way toward that process, there are some things that really are worth always reminding people. So as we do our coffee series, we like to try to bring up some of our real estate reminders and think through things that might be good tips for customers or people who are potentially going to be thinking about doing some work in Southwest Florida real estate.
Right.
So probably the biggest one is getting ahead of the game before you even go out looking at homes, talking about how you're going to finance the purchase.
Right.
And two big ways to consider doing that.
Right. How you're going to finance, or if you're not going to finance, if you're going to pay cash for the home, if you're going to finance, how you're going to do that, and especially how is it going to be titled? Is it going to be in a trust? Is it going to be in more than one name? Those are the things that all have to be sorted out before you even go out and take a look for any kind of home.
And what I'd say, if we go back to the financial piece, which is sort of our point number one that we have in our thought process, is there's really been a shift. As much as we've always been easily a 50-50 market around cash buyers versus people who are financing and mortgaging their properties, in 2021 we're seeing that even more people, if they can do it, are moving to putting in cash offers.
Right.
And that is helping to make them competitive in a seller's market, which we are still in the middle of.
Right. And that's something that you really need to speak to your financial advisor about.
Absolutely.
But when you're buying a house in the market that we are in right now, the cash offer is always the strong one. And what some of our customers have done is they've gone in cash, purchased the home, and then financed it after all of that craziness is done about getting in your offer and making sure yours is the strongest one.
Which is great, right? It's just one less contingency, one less potential for time delay. And when sellers are looking for a clean and simple deal, it's not the only factor, but it could be a significant factor. If the financial amounts are similar, the offer prices are similar, and someone has to wait to go through a mortgage approval process,
Right.
The lender may require an appraisal, which takes more time. And just step by step by step, it adds a little more complexity. Even with kind of face to face with the same offer price, that cash offer can be, not always, but can be the one that the seller kind of
Goes
hones
to.
in on and goes
Right.
into. So we want people to think about it. It's not for everybody to be able to do a cash offer, but if you can, know that that will help. And if you can't, understand the implication of that, you're going to have to do other things to try to make your offer competitive. But your point was the most important one. Talk in advance to your own financial planner, your own banker, to think about the situation as it relates to you as a
Right.
buyer. Because once you come in to the market, we're happy to help you find the right property. When you find it, you want to move confidently and quickly. And if you have to back up and say, oh, I'm not really sure, I don't have a current relationship with the vendor, the lender, the conversation last time I was pre-approved was 6 months ago, you're going to have to
Right.
start that again. And in the meantime, likely in our market, if it's a good home that's priced right and in good shape, someone else is going to come in having already figured that out,
Right.
and you'll have to wait around for the next one because
Absolutely.
the market's going to move without you. So I think that whole piece about really preparing your lending plan or your financial plan, cash plan, if you can do it, is a really, really big one.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that comes to mind right now that's very important is home insurance.
Right.
And things have been changing, they continually evolve, but as it relates to home insurance and flood insurance in Florida, again, consult an insurance professional and do it, but even before you put in an offer. With an address, they can give you a good estimate of what's going
They can give you a
on.
very good estimate, and it's a good idea to get a couple of estimates.
Right.
And always remember
Very
too
good.
is that the insurance company that you're dealing with, maybe up north in a different state, they may not like to write in Florida, and they may give you certain stipulations or certain rates that you're not going to be happy with. So
Shop around?
Shop around with local insurance companies that are familiar with the area and our market.
Absolutely. So I think that's another way to get out in front, feel confident that you know what your all-in costs are if you can get an estimate on what the insurance component will be, and keep up with the changing times there, because some of the ratings have been undergoing some changes even as of the fall of 2021, and
Right.
your real estate professional can help you find the right home. The insurance professional can really help give you guidance on what coverages you want, what you must have, what you should have, and what the potential cost is on an ongoing basis. So that would be point number two. And the third one to highlight for today, and we'll kind of wrap it up on this point, I guess, will be there's still a lot of just odd and strange and scary things that go on out there as it relates to people trying to sort of hack the system and intervene when people are in a position where they need to wire funds from their lender or their bank to the mortgage, not the mortgage, but the closing company, when they need to wire funds into a closing company to fund their transaction.
Fraud is out there.
It's a
out
shame.
there, and you have to be extremely careful. And we always tell our customers, and at the bottom of every one of our emails explains
That's right.
that fraud is out there. So you have to be very careful who's giving you wire instructions. We as agents, or no one from our company will ever give you wiring instructions. So if you ever get an email that it looks like it's from our company or Terry or myself,
Or any real estate professional.
any real estate professional, do not believe it. It's not them. We don't do that.
No, and that's really part of what we want people to be aware of, is to, fraud prevention is really something in everybody's best interest. So that's something to make sure that you're checking via a phone number you independently know, not one that came in an email and said, call us at this number, but go back and call a number that you independently know will reach that closing company or that, escrow agent. Make sure you know who you're speaking to, that you talk to them, that you don't just get things in an email, which could have been hacked.
Right.
And these hackers make the email look so close to like it was coming from the real person,
It does,
but it's
and
not.
it easily
They're very
could be,
sophisticated.
and also speak to your bank. And when you're talking about wiring funds, many times if you're living in a different state than where you're buying property in, and you have to wire funds, they may have certain requirements about you calling up and asking to wire a large amount of money to out of state or to any place. So talk to them in advance. What if I wanted to wire funds for a house that I'm going to close on? What do you want me to do? Do I need to come into the branch? You may
Yes.
already be in Florida and your branch is in Ohio. You need to know that before you actually come down. So those are some of the things you need to figure out before you come and look for purchasing a property, because those are the things that will be stumbling blocks and can slow you up, and potentially you can miss out on the house you're looking for.
And who needs stress when you're already making a big decision and
Right.
moving things forward, which are inherently, stressful anyway.
Sure.
Want to keep that stress to a minimum, keep everything as productive and smooth for our customers as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And to that end, while we've talked today about 3 of those tips, we also put together a resource guide.
Right.
And just on the front and back of one sheet, we can send it electronically, we can, provide it in hard copy, and we like to talk through it. Our customers get the benefit of some of these key tips and planning tools for a productive home buying process in Southwest Florida. Right. So we really want to make sure that for those folks that are working with us, we can help guide them in the right direction and point them toward professionals in some of these key areas.
Right.
That's really important as well.
It's so important in this market to be able to move fast, and when you see the thing that you want, to be able to move on it. So we've put this together so that you are totally prepared to do that.
And if it sparks other questions, then we're happy to talk about that.
Sure.
And then think about other resources we can connect you with. Now, we promised everybody, didn't we,
Yep.
that we would circle back to why we were standing in front of the slot machines
We were
and
at
saying there's a reason we're here.
That's right. And we did a video about the 10 commandments
Of getting a mortgage.
And keeping the mortgage. And one of the key things in there was about casinos.
It was. When people have now applied for a mortgage, assuming you're going to go that financing route, and you've made application and the lender has started verifying your employment and checking on the status of your bank accounts and your financial records, we have 10 tips of things to really watch out for that you shouldn't do to kind of mess that up. And one of them is it's not a great time to fly to Vegas, go to Atlantic City, or I'll say in this case, hop on a cruise ship and take your down payment money to the casino. Doubling down is not the strategy you need.
Yeah.
And it unfortunately, although it sounds far-fetched, it has happened to people.
It has happened where
people thought, oh, it'll be okay. I'm going to do some
casino.
Gambling or do something, and in the casino, that down payment or the next payment to get to closing,
Yeah, they start
didn't.
getting a little bit under, and then they have to try to get themselves over, and then the next thing you know, they're out.
So, as this video ends, keep an eye out. We're going to post the video on the 10 commandments of getting a home mortgage so that you know the top 10 things to look out for, including maybe walking right by those slot machines in the casino, at least until your loan closes and you're safely in your new home.
That's right.
I hope you've enjoyed this video. Again, if we've given you some things to think about and you've gotten some benefit from the video, please give this a thumbs up. And again, we really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and consider turning on notifications. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe to our channel. We do not follow up and send you newsletters that you don't want or make phone calls to you. It's really just an opportunity for you to be in the know in an ever-changing environment as it relates to real estate in Southwest Florida, and to let you know when we're posting new things to the channel. It also lets YouTube know who else, like you and me, to send those videos out to, so it can reach an audience that could benefit. So that's the reason to ask you to subscribe. We want to say we really, really appreciate it when you do, and when you turn on those notifications, and when you give it a thumbs up. So thank you for joining us as we took our coffee and tea, not just on the road, but onto the high seas this time.
Yep.
And next time we have a coffee or tea, I'm sure we'll be right back in the greater Naples area. But for now, we're having a great day. We hope you are as well. Cheers.
Cheers.
Talk to you soon.
Bye now.